Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rollout or Monty from the Holotapes Weekly Podcast. And I know I haven't made a video in a little while, but we got some big news last week, and I just thought I'd make a quick comprehensive video about it. So, as you probably already know, Bethesda announced that they're having their first ever E3 showcase in June. It's going to be June 14th, Hollywood, California. And I mean, this is just huge news. This is basically confirming that we are going to get some sort of announcement on what Bethesda Game Studios is working on, likely Fallout 4. Now, I mean, they can talk about a lot of things. I mean, they could talk about, obviously, Fallout 4, Elder Scrolls 6, Dishonored 2, Doom, a new Wolfenstein, Evil Within 2, or just a completely new IP that we don't know about. But almost all of those things on the list I just named are a lot less likely than a new Fallout. Let's start with Elder Scrolls 6. Skyrim just came out in 2011. It was Bethesda Game Studios' last game they developed. The Elder Scrolls Online just came out last year. It's coming to consoles this June, I believe, right before the E3 conference, so they won't be talking about that. So, I mean, if we're extremely lucky, they could give also a teaser of Elder Scrolls 6 after Fallout 4, but I don't think that's going to happen. They've never done that before, but that'd be amazing, though. Dishonored 2, they could definitely talk about. Dishonored came out in 2012. It was extremely well received by critics and gamers alike. That's made by Arcane Studios, so I'm sure they've been working on a sequel since then, and we'll probably hear what they're working on too. Of course, what we're also definitely going to hear about is the new Doom, which is developed by id Software. Now, I think they're going to talk about Doom and Fallout. I think Doom and Fallout 4 will be the main things that they will talk about. Obviously, they have QuakeCon also to talk about Doom, but they're not going to go through the conference without talking about Doom, so that's pretty much a given. Then you got Machine Games, who made the new Wolfenstein. I mean, that was received pretty well, got a few awards, a lot of recognition. I've heard it's pretty good. I haven't played it myself, but it's probably too soon for a sequel there. We're probably not going to hear anything from Machine Games. We also got Tango Gameworks, who just came out with the Evil Within last year, so we probably won't hear anything from what they're working on. I mean, we could, but I don't think that's likely either. Then we could also see some sort of new IP from any one of these studios. We'll also hear about Battle Cry, the free-to-play game developed by Bethesda's recently opened studio, Battle Cry Studios, which is in Texas. And then their only other studio right now is ZeniMax Online Studio, which of course makes the Elder Scrolls Online, but the console version will already be out by then unless there's a delay. So I mean, there won't be much to talk about unless they talk about maybe a big expansion to the Elder Scrolls Online, which is also a possibility. Now I want to shift gears to another topic. For a while on Twitter, if you've been following me, I've been talking about this thing called PAX East, which is the Penny Arcade Expo in Boston, and it's one of the biggest developer conferences, video game conferences there is, next to E3. Yeah, so a lot of people thought, including myself, that Fallout 4 can maybe be announced there because, hey, Fallout 4 is supposedly in Boston, and PAX East is in Boston. Wouldn't that be cool? But based on a lot of recent tweets by Pete Hines and Bethesda's own Twitter account, it doesn't look like that's happening, and they're not on the schedule either. So I'd say that's probably 99% not happening, which is kind of a shame. I think if the game is in Boston, and it would be really cool if they wouldn't show it in Boston, but who knows, maybe they still can. So I mean, the timeline then, if it's announced at E3, which it seems like it's almost a given now that it will be, Bethesda won't hold this huge E3 showcase for the first time ever and just talk about Doom and the Elder Scrolls Online and maybe like Wolfenstein or Evil Within DLC. No, they're gonna talk about something big, and there's nothing bigger than what their own developer is working on, Bethesda Game Studios. I mean, we haven't heard anything from these guys in years now, and I mean the time is right. They wouldn't go a whole conference without giving an update on what they're working on. So, and they're most likely working on Fallout 4. They're definitely not working on another Elder Scrolls. Well, I mean that they're probably working on another Elder Scrolls, but that's not at the forefront of development. That's probably in the early stages of development, Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, we could very well see a teaser for Elder Scrolls 6, but I don't think that's happening. So, I think the timeline then would probably go an announcement at E3 in June. And maybe they'll show some gameplay too. Maybe it's a short gameplay reveal. Because remember, Todd Howard said in an interview not too far back that he didn't want to dribble out the information about the next game, like with Skyrim. Skyrim was 11 months from its announcement at the Game Awards to its release in the next November of 2011. So there will definitely be a shorter time between announcement and release of this game, unless he was just pulling that out of his ass and went back on his word. So that's why I think we'll get an announcement at E3, probably some gameplay. In July we'll get some more info. More info will be rolled out. Fallout 4 will probably be featured in Game Informer on the cover. And then August you got QuakeCon, which is Bethesda's flagship event, which they host. So we'll definitely hear more about Fallout 4 there, and we'll hear more about the next Doom. Then we'll probably get an October or November release. I'd just say October because, that's when Fallout 3 came out, and of course the Great War falls on the 27th of October, I think. And so Bethesda, they like to get close to that date just because, that's an important date. So that would be 4 months from announcement to release, which, for a lot of games seems like, oh, they can't do that. They need more time for marketing and shit. But really, Fallout 4 won't need much marketing. I mean, once it gets announced, everybody will know about it. I mean, just the other day when Bethesda announced this showcase, Fallout 4 was the #1 trend on Twitter. So, I mean, it definitely wouldn't take long to get the word out. I mean, Fallout 4 is the most anticipated game that hasn't been announced yet. They could also go the more conventional route. Once, announce it in June at E3, maybe show gameplay at QuakeCon, slowly roll out info like Todd Howard said he wouldn't, and then release in March and April of 2016. I don't think they'll do that. I think Todd Howard, I think he's going to want to stick to his word here and, not dribble the information out over, 10, 11 months. So, I mean, either way, an E3 announcement is most definitely happening. I mean, you can bank on this. I said before I thought, Fallout 4 would be announced like the Game Awards and PAX East, but there was really nothing substantiated by Bethesda themselves that made me believe that. It was just some other circumstantial evidence and such. But this time, we've heard it straight from the horse's mouth. They're holding an E3 press event, just like all the big dogs like EA, Activision, Ubisoft, Nintendo, etc. And if they didn't show anything big like Fallout 4, they would easily get overshadowed by the other publishers. EA's gonna be showing Mass Effect 4 there. Ubisoft will probably be showing the next Assassin's Creed, and then you got Activision. They'll probably be talking about or showing the next Call of Duty and such. So they definitely don't want to be overshadowed by the bigger publishers. So I mean, again, it's definitely happening. You can pretty much bank on it. I just want to also say, watch out for any fake information or rumors and hoaxes that'll float around, because up to June, I guarantee, some assholes will try to float around fake info and hoaxes and shit, but just don't believe it. If it doesn't come from an official source like Pete Hines or Bethesda Twitter, don't believe it. I mean, you can believe me because I'm a very trustworthy guy. I have good karma. And also, don't bother Pete Hines. Obviously there's going to be a lot of work that needs to be put into this E3 press event. I'm sure he's kind of, nervous and excited about the whole thing. Something's definitely going to happen. We're going to get something. So there's no need to bug him about what it's going to be, because, we'll find out soon enough. It's only, I think, 120 or so days away. So, I mean, we'll find out about it soon. So, yeah, that's it, folks. I just wanted to make this little news update in case y'all didn't know already, which I'm sure you did. So you can fucking get hyped, chew motherfucking chew, and I'll see you soon. Peace.